everyone. In this video, we are going to multiply a multi-digit number by a single-digit number. But before we do that, let's remember to check our zeros. We talked in the fall about how when you multiply by a multiple of 10, you have to carry that larger place value into the product. So take a look at this pattern right here using this equation, 8 times 8. If I know that 8 times 8 equals 64, then 8 times 80 would equal 64 tens, or 8 times 8 tens equals 64 tens. So I check my zeros to get it carried into the product there. Then 8 times 8 hundreds would be 64 hundreds. There's my two zeros, both getting carried over like that. It's a little bit tricky if your product already has a zero in it, like in 4 times 5 equals 20. So then just make sure that you're thinking, okay, 4 times 5 equals 20. 4 times 5 tens equals 20 tens. Or 4 times 5 hundreds equals 20 hundreds. So let's take a look at this problem, 1988 times 8, the year my husband was born, times 8. And as we're doing this, we're going to keep in mind that 1,988 in expanded form is 1,988. And when we multiply, we're essentially multiplying each of those places, each of those place values times 8. So we are going to look at the area model strategy and the partial product strategy. The area model gives you a little bit more of a visual to work with, but they're essentially doing the same thing. They're multiplying each of those place values by the other factor. So for the area model, I'm going to draw out a large rectangular model like this, and I label my short side 8, and then I label my long side with each of those place values, 1,980, and 8. Then I multiply to find the area of each section. So 8 times 1,000 is 8,000. 8 times 900 is 72 hundredths. There's my zeros. 8 times 8 tens is 64 tens, again with the zeros. And 8 times 8 is 64. Now that I found the area of each section, I have to add them together. So I have 8,000 plus 72 hundredths plus 640 plus 64. So in my ones place, I have 4. In my tens place, I have 4 plus 6, which is 10. In my hundreds place, I have 1 plus 2 plus 6, which is 9. And in my thousands place, I have 8 plus 7, which is 15 thousands. So there's my answer, 15,904. Let's take a look at the partial product strategy, and we'll get the same solution. So with this strategy, like I said, it's essentially the same, but we're just not going to draw that visual. Instead, we're going to stack the numbers vertically like this. And then I'm going to multiply 8 times each of the place values in my other number. So 8 times 8 is 64, and I write that down here. 8 times 8 tens is 64 tens, so there's my 640. 8 times 9 is 72, but 8 times 9 hundredths is 72 hundredths, and 8 times 1,000 is 8,000. So then I'm going to add all of those up as well, and I'm going to get the same solution as before, 15,904. So there are two strategies to multiply, the area model and the partial products. So try out one of those strategies this week on the story problems and have fun.